My humble prostrations to Lord Radha Krishna, Pujya Taponaji Maharaj, Pujya Swami Sri Chinmayananji, Pujya Sri Guruji Tejamananji, Pujya Swami Swaroopananda, Pujya Swami Saranananji, Sri Dhirenji, and Hari Om to all. On behalf of Chinmaya Mission Chicago Yamunotri, I would like to welcome you to 3-day celebrations of the 14th anniversary of Sri Radha Krishna Murti Sthapana. We are very fortunate and blessed to celebrate these events in presence of Pujya Swami Swaroopananda. Swamiji is the global head of Chinmaya Mission. Swamiji does not need any introduction, as many of you have heard Swamiji during the past visits to Yamunotri or many Chinmaya Mission camps. But for those rare few who may not know Swamiji, I will give a very brief introduction. Inspired by Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, Swamiji started the spiritual journey in 1984 by joining the Vedanta course at Sandapini Sadhanalaya in Mumbai under the guidance of Sri Pujya Gurudev and Pujya Guruji. Swamiji served as the regional head of Chinmaya Mission Australia, United Kingdom, Middle East, Africa and the Far East. And on January 19, 2017, Pujya Guruji Swami Tejamananji passed on the baton to Swamiji to serve as the global head of Chinmaya Mission. Swamiji is a dynamic leader and keeps over 300 Chinmaya Mission centers worldwide under his guard. Swamiji also the chairman of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust, chairman of the apex governing body of all the Chinmaya Mission centers and trust, chancellor of Chinmaya Viswavidyapith, and chairman of Chinmaya International Residential School in Coimbatore, one of the highly ranked and respected residential schools in India. For close to 3 decades, Swamiji has worked tirelessly to fulfill Chinmaya Mission's goal of giving maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. Swamiji has authored many books, and few of these books are on display in the foyer. Please check out these books at your convenience. After listening to a beautiful bhajan by all the children, let's give them a big hand. Let's be ready to listen to beautiful discourses from Swamiji. Swamiji will give discourses on the topic of Radha Krishna divine love based on Srimad Bhagavatam. And before I request Swamiji to start the discourse, I have a few requests. Please put your cell phone on mute or vibrate. And if you must answer the phone, please leave shrine quietly and answer the phone outside. Rajulji will make important announcements after the discourse to inform about the future programs. After the announcement, we'll perform the Sri Radha Krishna Aarti. Please stay in the shrine until the Aarti is performed. Now I will humbly request Pujya Swamiji to start the discourse. Thank you.
समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. An object that you see, hear, smell, taste, you can describe. But many of your emotions, you may be able to express, but you cannot describe them in words. And of all the emotions that we have, the queen or mother of all noble emotions is love. And imagine our life without anyone to love or anyone to love us. Everybody in this world seeks love. There's a bit of an echo, if you can just reduce. Everybody in this world seeks love. Everybody wants love. Everybody is waiting to be loved. Yet, what is the essence of love? To understand, to explain, or even what we feel as love is not easy to be described. In Narad Bhakti Sutra, love for Bhagwan, as explained by Narad Muni, he says very clearly, love is indescribable, but is not something that is not experienced. But it is like a dumb person who has eaten something delicious. How can he or she communicate? The eyes will show it that. You little children, you give them something sweet, but cannot be described in words. Yet our rishis made the impossible possible. People write theses on certain things, but try writing a thesis on love. Try it. It will either be unending and it will not be clear. Yet our rishis have made the impossible possible. And books like Narad Bhakti Sutra, they explain to us what love is. But love is, even if we understand, to actually experience it in our life. And that too also supreme love for the Supreme, which is called as bhakti. So, what is bhakti? Some of you have been recently studying Narad Bhakti Sutra. Sa tu asmin parama prema rupa. He first defines bhakti as that which is supreme love in this. He says, in this. And what is this? Ishvara we consider as that. But this bhakti is that which makes Bhagwan into this. This is what? That which is closest to you. Compared to that light, I can say this light. Even compared to this light, it becomes that compared to this table. This table also becomes that compared to this shawl. This shawl also becomes that compared to this kurta. This kurta also becomes that compared to this body. And when you say this alone, it means that this which never becomes that. Sounds confusing? Admit it. Yeah, because when we say this, that, this, that, this, yeah, we say we've got very logical mind and we've got very, fast mind. Even to understand language. It is called as this, that which is nearest to you, which can never become far. That which is your very essence, very core. Yeah? And therefore, Narad Bhakti Sutra, he says, Bhakti is for this, which never becomes that, which never becomes far. And what? Parama Prema Rupa. It's of the form of supreme love. Yesterday also in Badri I was speaking on, the topic itself was love. What is love and how is love measured? Love is considered to be the identification with the beloved. You love your wife more or you love your mother more? No husband can reply that. No? They're quiet completely. Maunam. Yeah? If I ask the woman, whom do you love more, your husband or your children? See the clarity that women have? This is called emotional intelligence. And the whole thing is that when you love, why should you be afraid? Now, it is not that you don't love your wife, you don't love your mother. They both might think you love the other more. But who do you love more? Whom do you love more? The one with whom you identify more. Before marriage, mother. After marriage? Whom do you identify with more? And to the extent you identify, to that extent you feel that oneness, and in that oneness, what you experience is love. So love is measured by the identification with the beloved. How much do you identify? And therefore, supreme love means supreme identification, complete identification. And even in worldly love, we say Radha Krishna love, but even in worldly love, what is love is where you stop thinking just me, but you start thinking as us. Is it not? That we are not training our children today, and therefore their marriages are not working sometimes. Where everything is about me and not us. When us, which means we are one together. If we feel that as a nation, we feel as a mission, we feel as a family, that oneness is that which is called as love. And the supreme identification for the supreme means oneness with everybody. Where everyone becomes one with you. That is called as bhakti, supreme love. That is also just the rupa of bhakti. But what is the swarupa of bhakti? Amrita swarupacha. It is of the nature of Amrita. Amrita, one meaning of Amrita means it is nectarine, which means it is Ananda Swarupa. It's of the nature of bliss. Other Amrita, where there is no Mrita, it never comes to an end. That which comes to an end was never love. Love is that which never comes to an end, but each moment it only goes on increasing. Pratikshana Vardamanam. It constantly goes on increasing. Now all this is explained in Narad Bhakti Sutra. And when a person gains it, what happens? Yallabdhva puman siddho bhavati. Amrito bhavati. Becomes siddha. Siddha means you think that such a person becomes what? Attains success or attains some powers. Siddho bhavati. When do you say, even in your local language, ki chawal siddh ho gaya hai? In Tamil also you say, no? It has become siddha. It is perfected. And when do you say the rice is perfected? When it loses its hardness and becomes soft. Not that it's become pogal or khichdi, but it has become soft. That is how a devotee becomes soft. Not mushy. Means compassionate. And Amrito Bhavati becomes immortal, but Amrita also means sweet. Becomes a sweet, kind personality. And Amrito Bhavati becomes the source of happiness for everyone. This is the glory of bhakti. And if you see all these statements together, then understand that bhakti is Amrita Swarupa. Bhagwan is Amrita Swarupa. And devotee also becomes Amrita Swarupa, which means Bhagwan, Bhakti and devotee become one. And what is the highest form of love? Where I and you dissolves, where there is neither I or you, there is only love. That's the highest form of love. Now we hear this also sounds quite fascinating, isn't it? You look very serious, but is it fascinating or not? But how do you feel that love? How do you realize that love? In Narad Bhakti Sutra itself says that it is gained through the grace of Bhagwan and the company of devotees, saints and sages. Therefore, in Navidha Bhakti also, Bhagwan Ramchandra ji says, Prathama bhagati santan kar sanga, dusari rati mama katha prasanga, Gurupad pankaj seva, tisari bhagati aman, chauthi bhagati mama gun gana, karahi kapat tajigan. When Bhagwan tells to Shabri, the 9 forms of devotion, even there, Prathama bhagati santan kar sanga. Keep the company of devotees, saints, sages. And therefore, one of the methods of developing devotion is dusari rati mama katha prasanga. Because when you keep the company of devotees, what will you hear? What will you hear? Glory of the Lord. And seeing them, how much they enjoy it, you can feel what they are experiencing in that love, and it might rub a little bit on you. That you also begin to recognize that joy of loving. Bhagati tat anupama sukhamula milai jo santa hoi anukula. Shri Ramchandraji also tells to Lakshman that this bhakti is the very source, because the nature of bhakti is Amrita Swarupa. Nature of Bhagwan is Amrita Swarupa. And when we love worldly people is what? Dukkha Swarupa. That's why they say every love song is, baby you hurt me, baby you kill me, baby I die, I'll never fall in love again. Does that happen or not? Yeah. Bhagati tat anupama sukha mula. Bhagavan says, why is bhakti dear to me? Because for a lover, anything that brings happiness to the beloved is the source of all happiness. Just like for you parents. People might give you wealth, people might even, it gives you all joy, giving you good food, recognition. But your greatest joy is in the happiness of your children, isn't it? If they are not happy, then what? And today, what have we done to our children? In the name of these expensive educations, 6-year-old depressed. And to bring them to Bal Vihar, to learn the higher form of love, where you live in that love and you don't keep on seeking these, who do not even recognize their parents' love and therefore try to look out for that love as only recognition from their peers, which they're never going to get or temporarily going to get. And that leaves them behind pining, hopeless. The malady of the world today, the sickness of the world today, the mental illnesses that we are experiencing in the world today, the long and short of it is that we have stopped loving and recognizing love. And what we do and what we seek is only some form of infatuation or some form of attachment. So if you just think about the joy and happiness of life, even now, if you just think about what is the happiness of life, is only the people whom you love, is it not? Your colleagues are all miserable. Yeah. But only when you think of the people you love. Now imagine if that love was in your heart 24/7. Every moment, every day, everywhere you go, for everyone. What would that life be? Just think about it. Sounds impossible, but it is possible. And that is called as bhakti. So, prathama bhagati santan kar sanga, dusari rati mama katha prasanga. And Bhagavan says that the second is that when you are in the company of such devotees, haven't you seen grandparents when they talk about their grandchildren? And now also newlywed parents sending everybody their children's picture, crying, just out of the womb, and all that. When there's love, everything is so beautiful, the joy that you want to, and when there is joy and happiness, you want to share it with everybody. Even if the other person is not interested in it. Every grandparent will say, "So, I just went to see my child in that ICU." Every child goes into ICU today. In that ICU. And that ICU child cannot even see. But looked at me and recognized that I was a grandmother. And so intelligent, even the nurses are saying, because the nurses have got experience, Nurses are saying, very intelligent child. See, when there is love, everything is beautiful. Love makes everything beauty. That's when they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everything beauty. I'm explaining all this that when I speak about Radha Krishna love, I don't want to go into the explanation. No? I will hint at what I've said, but you can recognize that this is not some ordinary love. The intensity of that love. Then the measure of love is how much of yourself you would give to the beloved. And the highest giving is surrender, giving up this ego only completely. No? There is no me apart from the beloved. And the ego gone, that is called as realization and knowledge, isn't it? What are we seeking? Where bhakti, jnana all become one. They are not separate. Dusari rati mama katha prasanga. Guru pad pankaj seva tisari bhagati aman. And the third is seva of our Guru, but without any arrogance or pride. And chauthi bhagati mama guna gana karai kapat taji gan. And the fourth form of devotion is singing my glories to others. No, we are very hesitant. I'm going to, Chinmaya study group. Acha, you become very religious. No, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Okay, chalo. What is the difference? Nobody knows, okay? Acha, so you're very spiritual. What do you do there? Yoga? No, we study Vedanta there. Oh, so you become a devotee of Chinmaya mission. No, I'm actually, there they explain everything so intellectually, it's so intellectually intriguing, अरे छुपके छुपके प्यार किया तो क्या किया? Because प्यार किया तो डरना क्या? सीखो राधा रानी से. Learn from Radha Rani. She was not afraid to love because she was loving the very Lord of the universe. And in loving Bhagwan, we are ashamed. And this cheap love in the world, how we show off. Therefore, kapat taji gan, bin das, जिसको बोलते हैं ना बॉम्बे लैंग्वेज में. अरे look at Hanuman. He goes to Lanka also. To Mother Sita, he says, Ram Dut main maa tu Janaki. His only one definition is, I am the Duta, I am the messenger, I am the Sevak, I am the devotee. You can't serve without love. I am the Sevak of my Bhagwan. And when Lakshman says, Ravan says, who are you? And by what might did you dare to destroy my Ashok Vatika or eat fruits in my Ashok Vatika? There also see how Hanuman, he's come into enmity. If it was just a monkey, he would have let him go also, But in the court of Ravan, he says, by whose drop of power you have conquered the three worlds, Tasu Dutame. Ravan wanted to burn him because of that. But he was not afraid of it. Because प्यार किया तो सीखो राधा रानी से. Yeah. That's why we worship Radha in the temple even more than Rukmini. Because pure love is fearless. It is fearless, completely fearless. And in this Bhava Sagar, when we are there, in this ocean of samsara we are there, we are full of worry, anxiety, is it not? Stress, these are all different names for fear only. Therefore it is called as Bhava Bhaya Roga. Bhava Bhaya Roga. See, in this world, even though say Nanak Dukhya Sab Sansar, Sarvam Dukkham Dukkham by Buddha, it's not that we do not experience joy. If we didn't experience joy, we would not even live. But what is constantly there is fear. When there is joy also, there is fear of losing joy. Isn't it? And when there is no joy, there is fear of not getting joy. Fear is the root of sansar. Therefore, if you hear the works of all saints and sages, what they say is, please free me from this bhava bhaya roga, from this disease and the dis-ease that we experience of this ever-changing samsara. That's why during the pandemic we started that, outthink uncertainty through Bhaja Govindam. And what is the first line of Bhaja Govindam? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Bhajan is not just singing. Bhaja means love. Bhaja means serve. Bhaja means destroying. Destroying what? Everything that keeps us away, that bondage that keeps us away from the infinite self, the infinite Lord. Yeah? That is called as. And if you've not heard it, go on Chinmaya YouTube channel, listen to it. Bhaja Govindam. Outthink uncertainty. Constantly in our life, changes are there. And these last 2 years, we have seen so many changes, isn't it? And even though we've come out of it, the fear still remains or not? Love is that which destroys all fear, and bhakti is that which destroys the very cause of our fear. And that is our identification with this body, mind, intellect, and therefore this perceiver, feeler, thinker, doer, enjoyer, sufferer, this ego. Therefore, bhakti means that which destroys, that which ends our bondage, ends our fear. Because tum rachak kahu ko darna. If you are there to protect me, why should I even fear anything? Because when you say bhakti, love for God, we think we are doing a great favor on God. But all that we want to get rid of in our life, that which is the cause of sorrow, our fear, anxiety, limitations, incapability, all this comes to end with love. And supreme love for the supreme is called as bhakti. Mantra japa mama drida vishwasa panchama bhajana jo beta prakasa. The other is constant remembrance of the beloved. And therefore, one of the means is mantra jap. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Repeat it to yourself. There are no greater affirmations. People go for these motivational courses for affirmations. There's no greater affirmation. Krishna, I surrender to you. Now, you are my protector. You are my abode. You are the one dependable. Chhat damasil birati bahu karma. Nirata nirantara sajjana dharma. The bhakti means that you have mastery over your senses. And giving up of all unnecessary activity. When it says sarva dharman parityajya. And it is not giving up of all activity. Because doing the activities that good people and sajjan do. Sa tava mohi maya jag dekha, mote sant adik kari lekha. Seventh form of devotion is that see everybody as my expression only. Then you will see, all I'm explaining that you can see what Radha's and the gopis' love is. But mote sant adik kari lekha. Consider the saints even greater than me. Because if it was not for saints and sages, you wouldn't know me. You wouldn't be able to develop devotion. Mote santa adik kari dekha. And they are the evidence of what devotion can give in our life. They are the evidence of the existence of Bhagwan. So, mote sant adik kari dekha. Athav jatha labh santosha. One who is content with whatever comes to him or her. Such a person never gets affected by the changes of the world. And sapne hu nahi dekhai par dosha. Even in one's dream, does not see faults of others. Fault finding is our preoccupation, isn't it? Yeah. But as you think, so you become. If you look inside, then like Kabir Das, you will say, Bura jo dekhan main chala, bura na milya koi, jo man khoja apna, mujhse bura na koi. That when I went to find out a perfectly bad person, I didn't find anybody that perfectly bad. But when I looked into my heart, I seemed to have all the faults and vices. That day you become spiritual. Then you'll be able to tolerate, accept the faults of others. Navama sarala sab san chalhina, more barosana harash radina. And ninth is the same sweet, kind, compassionate, loving nature towards everybody. And more baros na harsh nadina. And totally depending on me, neither is joyful or miserable, but mind entirely in me. And who is Bhagwan? Who is Krishna? Satchidananda Rupaya, who is of the nature of Sat, Chit and Ananda. Who is of the nature of Sat, Chit and Ananda. So Ananda is his Swarupa, is his very nature. He is bliss. And he alone, that infinite Ananda, Brahma, Vishwotpatyadi Hetave, is the cause of the entire entire multiverse. Now, universe, no? Multiverse, children will understand, no? Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, which my grandmother taught me from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And you were told that's myth. Thank God, my grandmother, who I consider as to be the most educated person, did not get the degrees that we get. And that's why she could explain all those things. That what Yashoda saw in Krishna's mouth, a universe in a universe in a universe in a universe, and in every universe there's a Yashoda looking into the mouth of Krishna, and in that there's another universe. What do they understand about multiverse that our grandmothers taught us as children? And if you Indians would have made research in that, you would be far advanced. But no, for you, it's a myth. How can it be possible? But so is Spider-Man a myth. So who is Bhagwan? Vishwotpatyadi hetave. Who is the very cause as Ishvara of the creation, sustenance and dissolution of the entire multiverses. The substratum of that. Yeah, but if such a there is infinite God, how can he come as man? Tapatraya vinashaya Shri Krishnaya vayam namaha. That Bhagwan takes avatar. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam. And who is the sadhu? In Ramcharitmanas, Tulsidas ji says, Rama Bhagata Hita Naratanudhari. That Bhagwan took the form of a human being for the well-being of sadhus, well-being of devotees. In fact, well-being of everybody. And to destroy all the three tapas from the cosmic forces, from the nearby forces, and from within us. And that is Krishna. Now, if you want to understand who is Krishna, we consider Krishna as an avatar. These days they'll say avatar. An avatar is a movie or a game. Avatar, a descent. Not that Bhagwan becomes any less, but Bhagwan comes as per the need of the world and the society and the people and the creatures also. At the moment, Bhagwan has taken the form of COVID to protect the other creatures. Actually, it's not Bhagwan, but all Bhagwan's Ayudha also. This is just at the moment a bit of Gada. Wait till the chakra comes. If we don't straighten ourselves, to protect the world. We are busy squashing viruses. The viruses are saying, when can these human beings who squash viruses come to an end? The Bhagwan comes to protect those who are doing dharma palan. Because with that only the world is sustained. Therefore, Vipradenu Sura Santahita लीन मनुज अवतार निज इच्छा निरमित तनु Maya Guna Gopar. That Bhagwan who is beyond Maya, beyond the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, beyond Prakriti and Vasanas, beyond karma and the effect of karma, which is also called as karma or destiny. One who is beyond that, why does he take avatar? He says, Paritranaya sadhuna vipra dhenu sura santahita. And from that example, you know that those who give more than they take, produce more than what they consume, they only can sustain the world. And therefore, Bhagwan Vishnu, the sustainer, comes to establish dharma. And where there is dharma, there is harmony, there is peace, there is mutual sharing, there is brotherhood, sisterhood, with the entire environment also. And that is why Bhagwan takes avatar. And amongst the many avatars that Bhagwan has taken, and not only Dasha avatars that you see in every Ranga Pravesham or Arangetram, those are the 10 main popular avatars pointed out. In Srimad Bhagavatam, so many avatars have been pointed out, listed, and their stories are also told. So we had said that listening to the glory of the Lord, not so from some television series, also very good nowadays, or even they were, but not these television series, not reading these novels, not reading these people who know nothing about what devotion is and what our science of iconology is. When we listen from the saints and sages, the glory of the Lord, whosever glory you hear, you develop devotion. But they say much more to develop devotion in your heart than the story of the Lord is the story of the devotees. And Bhagavatam means what? Pertaining to Bhagwan. You can say Leela pertaining to Bhagwan. But pertaining or belonging to Bhagwan is Bhagwan's devotees. And Bhagavatam is full of the stories of the devotees. And devotee stories cannot be without their link with Bhagwan. Therefore we say it is Bhagwan's story, but it is devotees' story. Yeah? And that's why the glory of Bhagavatam. And there also, among so many devotees, Ajamal's story you hear also, even though having got carried away, last moment said Narayana. Ajamal's story is there, but so many story is there, of various devotees. Prahlad, Dhruva, even Ramayana is there, Hanuman is there. All these, so many devotees are there. Raja Prithu is there. So many stories of devotees are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even Shiva is a devotee. But in Narad Bhakti Sutra, when one example that Naradji has to give, after all the description about the sure lakshana, the sure evidence of bhakti, even Naradji, who had doubt, says Yatha Vraja Gopikanam, that no one compares to the gopis of Vrindavan. And amongst those gopis, the complete essence of all the gopis is Radharani. And therefore, she is Bhakti Devi herself. Therefore, Radha Bhakti Bina na koi Shamala Darshan Pave. Without Radha, who will be able to understand Krishna? Because even when Krishna was there, how many people just thought that he is just a butter thief, a street urchin, mischievous boy, a statesman, diplomat? Duryodhana to try to imprison him also. Few knew his glory, but none the way the gopis knew his glory. And amongst the gopis also, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no direct mention of Radha. There's only one place in the Ras Leela, before the Ras Leela, that one gopi, Krishna, took along with him, and all the gopis became, self-centered. And from there, Anena Aradhita, you can say that it could be Radha. And people wonder that in Sri Krishna Leela, Radha is not mentioned at all. One of the reasons for that is that Shukdev Maharaj, who has expounded the Bhagavat to Parikshit Raja. Shuka also means a parrot. And the parrot eats the sweetest of all fruits. That's why I say anything tasted by the parrot, if that fruit you eat, if the parrot has left it behind. If you eat, and one parrot eats only a little bit of it, remaining is left for you. It is human beings who not only eat all, but pluck all from the trees and keep it inside to rot and will not give the birds. It's the other parrots also that come and eat. Other birds also come and eat that which the parrot has first dropped from the tree. It seems that Shukadev took the form of a parrot in the house of Radha. And if anyone has seen what is the love of Radha for Krishna, therefore it is said that Shukdev in 7 days had to give the entire Bhagavat for the liberation of Parikshit, to fulfill his life at the end moment of his life, and could not afford to himself go into meditation. He would not, that's why he did not mention the word Radha, because only if he mentioned the word Radha, he would be transferred to a completely different realm. That is the power in the name of Radha and the love of Radha for Krishna. Now in Srimad Bhagavat, Radha is not mentioned, but all the stories of Radha Krishna comes from Brahma Vaivart Purana. There it is there. It's a Purana only. There the stories of Radha and Krishna are there. And that is what is popularly known. Because Srimad Bhagavat, the stories are only of the gopis. And then a lot of stories have evolved from the essence of love of Radha through many legends, which is called as Loka Katha. Now if you go to Vrindavan, what you hear a lot of it is Loka Katha. And they are also so sweet. And that Tulsidas ji gives it also authority, where he says, Kvachid anyatopi. That from some other sources also. Why? Because then it's not some, just love of a, crazy girl. For this most charming, enchanting, boy of Vrindavan. What is the heights of a love that renunciate like Shukadev? Who had completely even abandoned body consciousness, revels in the Ras Leela of the gopis and Krishna. And how cheaply people talk about such a glorious dance of bliss. Therefore, people worship Radha Krishna in the temple only to get something out of them. But when you know them, then there is true upasana. Therefore, it's called as Vidya in the Upanishads. So, who is Krishna? Who is Radha? We have to understand. Then only we'll understand their timeless love, their supreme love. And even just listening to the love of Radha for Krishna and Krishna's love for Radha. Do you even know who is the flute of Krishna? Do you know? Who is the flute of Krishna? Vani Devi Saraswati, who has given us all speech, but we use speech for what? She feels insulted also. But when she heard the stories of Radha and Krishna, she's never heard language used to its fullest beauty. So she came to Vrindavan just to see what is this love of Radha towards Krishna. And when she came there, and she is Vani Devi, she is Buddhi Devi, she is Vidya Devi. And with Buddhi comes little ahankar also, isn't it? Even sattvic ahankar, which makes you share what you are and what you can give, the devtas have that, which is not a bad thing. But when she comes in Vrindavan and sees that Krishna is putting nail polish on Radha's feet, that Lord of the universe is anointing Radha's feet. Her ego completely shattered there. She became empty like a bamboo reed and stood there, empty of her ego. Bhagwan took her as his flute. That's why Sham teri bansi pukare Radha naam. That she became the flute of Krishna. And therefore that music that emanates, that call of the flute. And Gurudev's Discourses was acclaimed by saints, sages as the call of the flute. That calls us, beckons us to come to that ocean of bliss, where one wave takes the form of Krishna. The other wave takes the form of Radha. Yeah? And as they play with each other, dance each other, they become one. That at one time you see Krishna and the other time you see Radha. You don't see them as two separate, you don't see them two joined. Where there is Krishna, there is no Radha. Where there is Radha, there is no Krishna, because the two have become one and they take different forms. This is the heights of love that they have merged with. I know it's not very easy to understand. That's why the stories are there, so that when you hear it, you feel it, and you shed those tears like Saraswati, those tears of devotion. And in those tears of devotion, as your ego gets wiped out and you become empty, then He fills you with His breath and brings out the music from you. That when we'll explain the Ras Leela, then you will understand what is the music of the flute. Now, Bhagwan's many avatars have taken place. I brought out a book, small avatar from the Gita. I don't know if it's there. But get that, read it. Bhagwan's many avatar is there. Even Ram means bliss only. Yasmin sarve ramanti. Iti Ramaha. That in which everybody revels is bliss. What does Krishna mean? One Krishna means dark, not like the dark side. Means his complexion is dark. Yeah? Why we Indians are ashamed? Why our children are ashamed? Yeah? It's the most beautiful color. Yeah? So he's of dark complexion. That's why he's called as Krishna. Therefore you say Krishna Paksha, and you say Shukla Paksha. Shukla, bright, Krishna, dark, dark fortnight. Krishna means dark. That because his complexion was dark. But Krishna also means one who plows, one who scrapes. Krish, even farmer, Kisan, Krish. One who scrapes away our sorrow, one who scrapes away our ignorance, one who scrapes away our limitations, bondage, etc., is called as Krishna. Yeah. Then Krishna means one who is the creator, the sustainer, as well as the dissolver of the universe. Then Krishna means also, Krishna, the word means bliss. How does it mean bliss? Because Krishna means one jo akarshan karta hai, who attracts everyone towards himself. Everyone towards himself. And what do we all get attracted to? Some to TV, some to BV. Yeah. But only as long as both they feel gives them happiness, no? So what attracts us is bliss. That bliss is available to us everywhere at all times, even within ourselves and outside also. But we do not see that, and we keep running after impermanent things which only gives us sorrow. Why did Bhagwan take Krishna avatar? And Bhagwan Krishna avatar is called as Purna avatar. All avatar is Purna Bhagwan only, but does not manifest fully according to the need. But all the Shodasha Kalaha, all the 16 kalas, anyway, I'm not going to go into explanation of that, as you will see in Prashnopanishad, that he manifested with his complete Aishwarya. Ramchandraji is also Purna, but Ramchandraji can't show all his godliness because he has come as man. But don't understand Krishna as man. Even the form is of a man, but he didn't come as Manushya. As can a man dance on a snake? Try. Somebody says, you're worshipping God who's got 16,108 wives? Somebody asked Gurudev, He says, that's why he's God. You try handling one. So Krishna avatar should not be taken as Manushya avatar. Because Krishna to Bhagwan Swayam. He has come as Bhagwan. All avatar is Bhagwan only. But they have manifested only there. Bhagwan has manifested only limited. Therefore, Krishna Bhagwan and his Leelas are showing God's relationship with man. Ram Leela is a perfect man relationship with the world. But Krishna's is Bhagwan's relationship with the world. And Bhagwan is Apta Kama, without any desire. All desires fulfilled. And Jiva, Bahu Kama. Plenty of desires, isn't it? Therefore, Tulsidas ji says, our pair is perfect, We are like bow and arrow. Main patita, tum patita pavat. Yeah. I miserable. You are the ocean of happiness. You only can fill me up, my endless pit of desire. So Bhagwan has come to fulfill everyone's desire as Krishna. Even Kubja's desire. That hunchback woman. It is said during Ram Avatar, Bhagwan has come as man, an ideal man should be with, committed for life. So he demonstrated an ideal marriage also. But even as Ramchandraji, do you know how many, not only women, but even the rishis hoped that they would become women. Not they dressed up as women, They are the ones who took the form of all the gopis. They are the form who took the form of all the wives. They were devotees already. So that they would have Bhagwan as their beloved. So Bhagwan has come to fulfill, and after all, he is Jagatpati. Don't go, He is Jagatpati. Therefore, he has come to attract everyone. Even as Ramchandraji in Treta Yuga, where people are a little bit more Rajasic, but in Dwapar Yuga, coming close to Kali Yuga, so Tamasic. That Bhagwan In Ram Avatar, he just walked in the forest. And every forest dweller were in love with him. Kandarpa Aganita Amita Chabi Navanila Nirada Sundaram. That is Bhagwan, no? With countless Kamadev, can't say Cupids, Countless Kamadev is in every pore of Bhagwan, no? Kandarpa Aganita Amita Chabi. No? Indescribable, immeasurable is his beauty. People were so attracted even to Ramchandra ji as a man. But Bhagwan Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga. Therefore, he had to play all these pranks. He has to, if you don't give attention, he'll break your pots. He will come to your house. He'll raid your house. Then all the time, Are, that Krishna. Are, that Nandalala. Are, that Gopabala. Are, Baba, that Gopala. Are, that Yashoda Nandan. That whichever way, he will make you think about him. Because why? Only when you think about him, as Guru Arjan Dev Sahib says, Simar Simar Sukha Pawa. The only way of happiness is, and that which keeps us away from Lord and happiness is our own forgetfulness. The only way is remember him all the time, and we can't do it. Therefore, whatever we get, just once you set a glance upon him. After that, no. Yeah. He will not make you forget him. Therefore, jo akarshan karta hai. You see, at that time also, playing the flute, calling you with the flute. Now, if Bhagwan has to come, he has to come with a trumpet. Then only we might hear him. That's why. Only if he came with a, electric guitar, then people will flock there, So Bhagwan came with a flute, only to attract us. And who are the gopis? Go. In English also, go means Gachati, that which goes. Of course, we know go means goes, yeah. In Sanskrit also, go means goes. And because cows go to graze, they are also called as go. Our senses also, that go to graze among sense objects, are also called as go. And these sense organs take away our mind from that which is the closest to us, Asmin. This Lord, who resides in everyone's heart, even in the most crooked, wicked, even Ravana's heart. And we don't pay attention to him. Whose expression is this entire universe, and yet we go searching for him everywhere, or even searching for happiness. What to talk about these gopis? P, Sanskrit language, comes from root words. P kya hai? Means to drink. Go means the senses. Gopi means those milkmaids of Vrindavan. They call, they are Gwalon ki choriya. Daughters of the Gwalas or wives of the Gwalas, who take the cow to graze. That's why they are called as gopi. But go means who through their senses drank that ocean of bliss in the form of Sri Krishna. Therefore, they did not have to close their eyes and meditate. They too, with their eyes, saw Brahman. They with their ears experienced Brahman. Yeah? They could touch him. They are called as gopi. Once somebody was asked, and it's not that you should do that, but said, have you studied the Veda? Have you studied the Upanishads? He said, Upanishads mein bacha hi kya hai? वो जो गोविंद है, that which is a substratum of the universe, Brahman, उसको तो गोपियां पी गई इंद्रियों के द्वारा. अब तो अगर वो चाहिए तो जाओ गोपी के पास, और कहाँ जाओगे? And therefore in bhakti, try meditating. Everybody wants to go and take a course on meditation, no? And they want to close their eyes and then they go. I'm telling you all this because I'm going to tell the stories of the gopis tomorrow. Yeah? I asked one, what are you doing? Catching my mind. We don't meditate, we agitate. They said, nowadays because they don't want to be religious meditation and they don't want you to be a Hindu, because if you're meditating, you are a Hindu now. So, and after all, yoga comes from India, so you better come for Pilates, not for yoga. And therefore, meditation. So we are talking about, emptying yourself. On one time, they say mindful. We are already mindful only. Fill it with Bhagwan. That also when we try to do, we cannot do. Huh? But bhakti is that. With your eyes open, ears open, your tongue eating, your ears hearing, you can experience that bliss all times, all places, everywhere. That is the love of the gopis. Where meditation is not a strain or a practice. Meditation is moment to moment. Being with that substratum of the universe who is Satchidananda Rupa, who is the cause, sustenance and dissolution of the entire universe, who has come to us in this attractive form, not only as Makhan Chor, but Chitta Chora. And all we have to do is live with the gopis, dance with the gopis, churn with the gopis. And what? See Krishna, Krishna everywhere. So today I have given you the complete picture. Otherwise, ye stories hai. We've heard also some of these stories. Makes us feel good, but. So today I have given you the whole framework, and from tomorrow onwards, you know the timings. Please bring your youngsters. Now they've lost this introduction, so they also started what these stories are. But pure hearts will know what pure love is. And when they fall in love, they will also understand that there is something called as higher love that you can discover in that love which you fall into, so that you can rise in that love. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Bolo Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
Hari Om. What beautiful thoughts we just heard from Pujya Swamiji. We will continue this satsang tomorrow. We have some wonderful programs. So our first discourse starts at 10:30, but we have a beautiful bhajan program that our children have put together at 10 o'clock. So it'll put us in the mood for this discourses. So please join us at 10 a.m. At 10:30, we will have our second discourse, followed by prasad lunch. Then there's a break, and at 3:30, we have some more beautiful bhajans from 3:30 to 4:30, and then our discourse number 3 will start at 4:30, and we will conclude at 6. So we have a full day tomorrow, and then Sunday morning we do have our Sri Radha Krishna Puja and Havan, and that begins at 9 a.m. and it'll be concluded at 11, and Pujya Swamiji will have the final discourse at 11. And that again, we will follow that with the prasad lunch, and that will be our conclusion. So please join us and invite your family and friends. And every day we'll be doing Sri Radha Krishna Arti. So if you'd like to sign up, please do that. You can, even if you haven't previously signed up and you want to do the Arti, you can do the Arti and stop by the front desk for your offering. We also invite you to sponsor any of our pujas and or be an Annadan sponsor for our Sunday program. And we do have help our sevaks in the lobby, and they'll be able to help you sign up for that. So thank you very much, and please tell all your family and friends. I know this is a weekday evening, but the weekend we'll be looking for a lot more people to join us, so please let everybody know and join us tomorrow morning. Thank you. Yes, Ashokji just reminded us, please also visit our bookstore. We have some wonderful selection of books, and we'll be happy to help you find anything specific that you need.